You mentioned the rookies. We got Hiko, we got One Shot, but One Shot gets the Fanny, which is even more hype. I mean, it's definitely going to be exciting, but take us in, Husky.
Here we go, land on Don Beckon's last series between Vamos and CFU. Fanny was completely ignored, but this time Team Spirit will not let it go to waste. One Shot has a chance, and he has that one shot, and he better not let it slip. Both junglers starting on the purple buff. It will be a mirrored path over One Shot and Fabian.
All right, so taking a look at both drafts, I mean, both of them quick moving. They have these aggressive junglers. They have the ability to scale, but I will say One Shot, we know how the Fanny is. We know if those pop-offs can happen early on, if he can start this game in the laning phase with a 1-0, with a 2-0, lock in some of those first items quickly. It can get really bad for Team Liquid ID.
And I'm also looking at the adjustments to the Fanny, right, with the more energy regen mid-side.
A little bit of damage, though, in there with the Litho. One Shot looking for that first kill already. Easy goal goes down. One Shot able to find it quickly within the first minute. A nice start for the side of Team Spirit.
Absolutely amazing opening. Yehescu, he had no other choice having to flicker into open area. That is just a wet dream for One Shot. Not only getting that first blood, but now able to head towards that bottom side, get that crab for himself, get that experienced lead. Very good setup. And Team Spirit, you have this draft that is always ready to fight off cooldown, and they have very short cooldowns that enable them to constantly step on the gas.
And you know, we heard it from the panel, they need something that can clear mid quickly. They need something that can get them around this map fast, and having Sunset Lover on this Valentina, having Sawo on this Beleric, it's giving them that answer. And you add One Shot on the Fanny, I mean, it's an aggressive composition that not only can have a decent early game, but has some late game potential as well.
Yeah, and not only that, you also are looking at Team Liquid ID, how are they going to deal with the glue, right? The glue is going to sandbag your Phobius. He's winning Phobius in a 1v1 in any situation, and if you try to dive him, there's always Raffle Dryad from the Beleric, from Savo. You got to look after your backline. You don't want One Shot to get on top of Aaron Shiki, because that would be a one shot for sure. Spirit looking to set up at this turtle. If Liquid ID wants to fight, Team Spirit will be ready.
Yeah, One Shot hanging out, waiting for it. Aaron and the rest of the team as well. In comes the taunt, a lot of damage. Guardian comes down, and Fabian able to pick up the kill onto Kid Bomba. Easygoal in trouble though. One Shot trying to get the finish, but he just can't do it. Turtle still up. Sunset Lover in trouble as Aaron fends him away. Now Fabian still able to steal it. One Shot now on the run. Can he get away? Aaron with Ironic Force tries to get the last hit, but he can't quite do it. Fabian does find a kill onto Sunset Lover. Witty taking the kill. One Shot down, the game quickly turns into the hands of Team Liquid ID.
Very unfortunate for Team Spirit. They had the right idea, but Kid Bomba hit. The rest of his team were not ready to respond, so he ended up taking way too much damage before Team Spirit arrived to help him. Kid Bomba going down means that front line for Team Spirit collapsed. Sabo couldn't hang on all of his own. He got the Raffle Dryad, but your damage dealers is in the back line, and not being able to take down Yehescu is just icing on the cake, at least if you're a Team Liquid ID fan.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, we're going to have some of this back and forth, right? They already want to kind of kick things off aggressively. Team Liquid ID has a little bit of something back into their hands. They get that first turtle, but the gold is still essentially nil. It's only 650. It could still go any way. But do we think Team Spirit wants to maybe slow things down now? And does Team Liquid ID want to match that, or is this the time that maybe you press on the gas a bit?
I think if you're Team Spirit, you probably have no choice but to slow down. Like that first turtle fight is going to decide whether the pacing remains, right? But if for Team Liquid ID, I don't think you mind playing slow. You got pretty good late game scaling, but if you are Fabian with a 2-0 lead, you're going to be looking to fight every objective.
Yeah, so at this point, this game really, I think both teams really kind of start hitting major spikes around First Lord. Maybe nothing too early, both with marksmans that need a few items to really start popping off. Yes, One Shot can maybe get some cheeky kills here and there, but other than that, the rest of the team needs some time to scale. Both teams taking it slow. Yes, we had some action in the beginning, but next turtle's going to be up in about 13 seconds.
I think FC both XP laners now moving to turtle area. Aran will arrive first, and he does have a minor lead over Kid Bomba. Here we go.
One Shot, looking for an angle, decides not to go. Aaron Shiki at any point can knock him back, create that little bit of space, but down comes Bennett's Rage. A lot of damage to the backside. AOG unable to connect onto anyone. One Shot trying to make his way in. The Hero's Passion finds the target. Fabian drops. Witty drops. Sunset Lover picking up the kill. This should translate into a turtle.
And that is the ideal environment for Team Spirit to fight. Don't Team Liquid ID, they do lose the objective, but you have Aaron Shiki just feeding off of these gold, these free platings on that bottom side. Kid Bomba will try to match that lane to try and stem out the bleeding, but Team Spirit have found an equalizer, and now they can start pressing that advantage on the top side. One shot here again.
Ooh, one shot's getting aggressive. Aaron on the run. Aaron goes down. In comes Fabian. The SOD able to connect. Hiko falls as well. Fabian decides to back off. It's back and forth right now. Prime time in the land of Dawn.
Because the Spear of Destruction landed, Aaron Shiki gets a free lane swap from across the globe, all the way from ID. Moves to top side as Hiko went down, so no one is going to be taking care of that turret, which means that Aaron Shiki continues to get free resources. So on the macro sense, I think for Team Liquid ID, they are okay with that trade. I feel like Team Spirit made a bit of an error. They want to put pressure onto Aran, but having Hiko walk past that tier 1 without much info is a bit of an overextension. But man, Trax, we got a pretty exciting game, yeah, right? 8 kills in 5.5 minutes.
We had to take the pause. We had to throw a little ice. It was getting a little too hot there. We needed to chill out for a second. Does look like Team Spirit needed to raise the hand. Sawo. So we're going to take a second till we jump back into the game. But at this point, it still feels down the line. One Shot is looking for those marks nonstop. But the thing is Team Liquid ID is doing such a great job at responding, at quickly recuperating, finding those aggressive moments that Team Spirit tries to bring, like what we just saw when he went after Aaron. But then in comes the Spear of Destruction, and they quickly counterattack. So it doesn't seem like Team Spirit is ever getting anything for free against Team Liquid ID.
Yeah, you are always forcing a trade, and that is why even after a turtle fight and even after taking out Aran, Team Spirit never really got too much of a goal lead. I would even argue it's even, right? It's like a 400 net worth lead doesn't really mean too much right now, and that's kind of what the Moskov gives you, that macro advantage. You can always join a fight cross-map as long as you land that SOD, and you can always rely on Aaron Shiki to arrive on time. So Team Spirit, they have gotten a taste of what makes the team fight tick for them. You know, having Savo and Kid Bomba in the right place and just funneling everyone from Team Liquid ID into this tight space for Hiko to kind of dish out the damage and one shot hit the backline. They gotta keep replicating that, and at the same time also watch out for Witty. So the battle spells from Hiko, that flicker is ever important, because if Witty ever gets on top of Hiko, I think Liquid ID can just take him out.
Yeah, if they can target down Hiko, it's going to be a big problem. If they can slow him down as much as possible, make sure Aaron Shiki is well ahead, locks in that Holy Trinity a little bit before Hiko can get his third item in, then it's going to be major. And another thing to point out is the Fanny's going to do good, right? The Fanny, it's going to do great once they get to that mid game, but towards late game, I would say the Joy is going to pack a bit more of a punch. Going to be a little bit easier for the Joy to dash through and get to some of those backliners to be able to find Hiko. Team Spirit kind of have this real prime time to try to get ahead, and if they're not able to do it, I got to say that Team Liquid ID is going to start getting a major advantage.
I agree, and this is sort of why I established that I think Liquid ID, you don't mind playing slow. You got Moskov with that SOD that, again, always gives you a macro advantage. Late game damage comes from Joy. Will always be there. He steps on Hiko. Hiko will just vaporize in a second. I think if you're Team Spirit, you're also looking at Savo. If you're ever planning to go late for whatever reason, Savo is the guy that has that instant crowd control to keep Fabian in place. But then what's next, right? How can you take down the Joy? The solution isn't really clear-cut. It comes back to Hiko again, because One Shot will be busy dealing with the backline. So I think if you're Team Spirit, you can go even up to a certain extent, but once Hiko gets that second, third item, you gotta start speeding it up.
Yeah, so something to point out with Hiko, in a previous game in this Swish stage, when they were up against a Bruno, though, Hiko rushed the Malefic Gun, right? And this time he goes straight for BOD. Now, do we think that's just, do you think the Malefic Gun rush is only when you're up against a Bruno, or do you think it could have been good here? It is a very expensive item to go for Blade of Despair. Now that he's seen this death, it could set him back a little bit.
I think the Malefic Gun rush is more of a, my side lanes are already winning, like Kid Bomba is destroying his lane, the Sunset Lover is having a good time, I am not under any threat, I might as well do it.
You might as well do it.
Yeah, might as well do it. But in this case, I think the BOD makes a lot more sense because Team Spirit are actively fighting for the turtle. We saw them participate in the first 2 turtles, and the second one ended in a very, on a high note, I would say, for Hiko at least. So that one that was very unfortunate. He could have entirely prevented that, just understanding, just trusting One Shot to kind of dive those turrets. But at the end of the day, I think after this BOD, you probably will be looking at the Hunter Strike, or if you want to go Malefic Gun at this rate, I wouldn't blame you. It does buy you distance, you know, from away from Widdy and Fabian.
Yeah, definitely can help a lot. You get to switch over to the Bennett. You get to have that distance. You get to have that little bit of damage with the Bennett and everything. But still, now on to the next topic is when I take a look at these deaths, when I take a look at the people that have gone down, and I look at Team Spirit right now, all their damage dealers are hurting. But when we look at Team Liquid ID, Aaron Shiki is feeling good right now. It's 1-0-1. He's deathless. So, I mean, at this point, Team Liquid ID definitely seems to be feeling very comfortable in this game, at least.
Yeah, I mean, they have some time to kind of think about what's going on as we continue to troubleshoot the problem. We're going to hand it back to our panel to discuss more about this ongoing game.
All right, so we're around 5 minutes and 30 seconds into this game between Team Liquid Indonesia and Team Spirit. We're back here to break down a bit of the madness. I think it'll be a good point to start off with the Belleric first. One by one, how are we feeling about the Belleric performance so far?
Personally, for me, I think that the Belleric is a really interesting nuclear option, especially when you're thinking about like TLID wanting to go into the backline, right? With the Wrath of the Dryads, and especially with Hiko on this dangerous, very, very dangerous ult-dependent Beatrix, the combos can be very clean, and we already witnessed it prior.
Yeah, we did, and I think, you know, when we looked at that early game, and I was saying, you know, as long as they get one shot going, getting the momentum going on a Fanny, he did. Then they actually got punished a little bit after that, and then they readjusted. So I think we got a preview of that combo that we're seeing here from Team Spirit. But so far, I think that's the biggest question mark for me. I'm actually not sure if I'm feeling the Belleric just yet. I know we already talked about this even when we, you know, threw it in game on how useful this ultimate is going to be, how useful this hero is going to be from a lineup that Team Liquid ID brought to the table. And maybe it will work out, you know, especially when we start getting to the Lords later on. But for now, we just have to see the previews when all the turtles are taken and how this works out for them.
Yeah, when we were talking about it behind the scenes, we were thinking that for the Belleric, it's actually quite a great pick into the Phoveus and into the Gatot Kacha. And we saw that in that key team fight where it was Team Spirit that won from a big combo. It was a perfect area near the purple buff. There were a lot of walls. It'll be easy for one shot to get cables off. Where in the moment you get the Phoveus and the Gatot Kacha to enter, once the Wrath of Dryad comes out, they're there for a while.
Yeah.
And then if they can get free to finally rejoin and deal some damage is the question. I feel like though, team fighting wise, that's something that Team Liquid ID needs to respect just a little bit more. But at the same time, Team Spirit, they're overheating a little bit too often.
Well, I mean, overheating is one thing, right? Because at the end of the day, what exactly does the comp want to achieve? And I think that their composition needs to play defensively because Wrath of the Dryads is a very defensive spell, right? The only way to make it offensive is if you flicker on top of their carry and then unleash hell, right?
Yeah.
But keep in mind that at least from the side of Team Liquid ID, they don't have a lot of disengage. So their fights must be extremely decisive. It's either overwhelming victory or you're going to crumble as soon as you miss those ults.
All right, that's it for us right now. So if you are just joining us, remember, Team Spirit, they have a Belleric with them for Team Liquid Indonesia. They are running a lineup that has a few loose cannons, but it's a bit tough for the team fighting. Let's go back to Husky and Trex for the game.
Thank you very much, panel. We're back in it and see which team is here to win it. So far, 4-4. Not really much of a goal advantage for either side. Just minor injection, minor lead for Team Spirit. But so far, I think I agree with what the panel say. A bit of an overheat from Spirit, but nothing they cannot adjust to.
I do feel like this next turtle could be huge, though, right? This could be the table flipper. This could be where we decide which team's actually going to be taking a 1,000+ gold lead at this point. The next turtle could be the decider here. Fabian trying to gain some space. Team Liquid ID as well. With 30 seconds until it, position is going to be key.
It's a bit of an initiative from Spirit, a one shot trying to proxy the wave just to stall out a run. But again, Turtle still not up for another half a minute, so there really isn't nothing much to lose for Liquid ID. Spirit tried to siege the top tier 1, that didn't work out. They did steal the Eternal Guard. Fabian and Aran just showed up. Spirit has the whole team ready though.
Yeah, so at this point, Team Spirit claiming a little bit of position over the mid. One shot, I love the way he's always kind of staying in the back. He's always got a decent position to try to get to the backside of Team Liquid ID. Widdy and Kid Bomba both kind of doing their back and forth. Turtle finally up. Sawo gonna try to claim position, pull it over his side as Team Liquid ID does the same.
They're gonna send Eroshinki down to the bottom side. So Spirit, if you get this turtle, we are going to get that bot tier 1. If we need the Moskov to join the fight, he can always arrive with the SOD. Again, the macro advantage that Liquid ID has identified, they're putting it to good use.
Yeah, but top tower also looks like it may be going down. Spear Destruction does connect, but is he going to follow through? Kid Bomba able to get the split, or looking for the split. Finally does not connect though. Sunset Lover on the backside taken out by Fabian. Sawo in trouble. Hiko with the counterplay. Nibiru's passion locks on. It's 2 for 1 right now, or 1 for 1. One shot now looking for Ezekiel. Ezekiel might be in trouble, does get terrified, looking for the last hit, able to connect. Kid Bomba trying to find one of his own, put the nail in the coffin, but Aaron doesn't want to go down. Kid Bomba now on the run. Down comes the dunks. Kid Bomba versus Aaron. Kid Bomba finally falls. Turtle does not compute to anyone. Lord finally gonna come up in one shot. Turns it around for Team Spirit. It's back in 4th right now, Husky.
Yeah, and Team Spirit finally finds a minor goal advantage. 1.4, 1.5k. All thanks to Hiko not going down. Fabian just needed one last injection of damage and ease the Nibiru's passion in the face. So Hiko survives 1 shot, gets 2 kills. Losing Kid Bomba was a bit unfortunate, but Spirit, they found that winning formula. Right now, they're going to try to rush down the Lord.
Yeah, they're rushing for sure. SOD, is he gonna pop it? Is he gonna come? Witty goes down. Aaron Shiki trying to connect as well, but the damage is just too much. He's stunned. He's locked up. One shot takes the Lord. Aaron Shiki still up, trying to get some free hits onto Kid Bomba. Aaron there as well. AOD with the IMU, able to connect and get the kill. Sunset Lover coming through. 2 down, and a Lord over to Team Spirit.
And what did the panel say? Belleric is a very defensive hero. Eroshiki couldn't get away in time because he was taunted up by the Wrath of Dryad, so he was stuck in the pit. Now this Lord for Team Spirit, 1 shot will be fine. That bottom tier 1 will be traded down. Big fat wave in the top side that Team Liquid ID needs to deal with. Team Spirit just found a 3k gold lead, and this composition is incredibly scary when it comes to sieging Liquid ID. They're gonna somehow try to defend as much as they can.
All right, they're going to try to smash down into this tier 3 on the mid side, claim some ground in the land of Dawn as Lord encroaches on the top. A nice full wave split. Look at 1 shot on the boss side as well. Team Spirit doing very well at syncing everything and making all lanes pressure at once.
You kind of take away whatever advantage that Moskov gives Liquid ID. Now it is the playground for a 1 shot, right? Fanny loves it when the enemy has no vision on the map, when the enemy has no control. 1 shot.
1 shot doing a lot of damage. The anime battle we all wanted, and 1 shot wants to try to finish it. Not able to do it, but Hiko takes the tower in the top side. 1 shot's got to back off. Team Spirit stays to stick around, maybe sticking around too long. They're finally going to back up. It's not time to end it yet.
Not just yet. Play patient. 5k goalie. Spirit in the driver's seat. If only 1 shot was rocking that lethal ignition, Fabian would have died for sure. But still, Spirit got the control off the side lanes, and this is where 1 shot that Fanny is going to excel at, right? Controlling side lanes. You can always force Team Liquid ID to react to that macro play. Lord still has a lot of time before it comes up, so if Spirit can get this mid-tier 2, they're going to be in a very comfortable position.
Hiko just needs to stay safe at this point. He did finally get the Malefic gun in. It was a 2nd item after that Sea Halberd, and that's why we're seeing him rock the Bennett right now. He's able to shred down these towers at a distance. He's barely going to switch that gun out unless he really needs to, unless he has to swap out some ultimates real quick. Kid Bomb up in the top side, able to get the stun onto Fabian. Fabian just trying to get away. Sabo also holding down the front line. Watch for 1 shot. Looking for a way around the back, able to steal this orange buff.
Every single time Kid Bomba and Sabo walks up, Liquid ID would just have to respect that space. It does not belong to them. Witty doesn't really have the same agency as this Belleric or Glue. Neither does Aran. If either of them overextends, they're going to eat a face full of bandit rockets and they will just disappear. So Liquid ID, they got to somehow be able to stabilize the macro.
Nice stun. Hiko in trouble, able to dish back, able to flick back, come out with the damage. Witty, Fabian, next might just be Ezekiel. 1 shot, does get knocked up, has to back off. Team Spirit, though, the counterplay continues to be key.
The idea is there for Ereshiki, but they just don't have the goal or the resources. We saw Sabo just needed to press 1 button. 1 Wrath of Dryad, Kid Bomba shows up, ties all of them down. Spirit feeds them, Banner's Rage, takes 2 kills. This Lord open for business. Fabian is still dead for another 10 seconds. Liquid ID, they're not going to make it in time. Spirit can just run it down, take the Lords, and start looking for inhibitors.
Yeah, this should be a free Lord, easy peasy. Luckily, Aaron, I like the SOD almost. We both puckered up for a second there.
It has happened before.
So they do get a little bit of pressure on the bot. He doesn't get that tower, though, so at this point, Team Liquid has to defend. They do have some siege capability. Having Aaron Shiki, having the shredding ability, having some front line, they should be able to melt down this Lord and hopefully only lose a little bit.
And unfortunately, Team Spirit didn't really sync out the wave that well, so this Lord might not yield the value that they're looking for, but Prestige is still there thanks to Hiko with the Bennett. The turret stays alive. There's still one more wave that Team Spirit can utilize, but at least the burden is lifted off Liquid ID. I say the burden is lifted, but Hiko is just walking forward.
As long as Hiko is alive, that tower is not safe at all. You're not even trying to dodge minions. You're just trying to make sure Hiko can't get in range, but the AOG tries to connect. Down comes the Eternal Guardian. Witty taken off the map, a double kill for Hiko, but Fabian looking for the back line, able to take out Aaron. Fabian does find Sabo. Fabian might be in trouble though. One shot, finally wants revenge from the last one. Kid Bomba finds the kill. 3 for 2, but Team Spirit winning out on that one. Make it 4.
Hiko has 10 seconds left before his flicker came back on. That's why he couldn't reposition. But still, every single time Liquid ID dives, they eat the raffle dry. Spirit might end this.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Team Spirit take them all out in good fashion. Tonight, the Dragons rain fire.
From the north to Southeast Asia, Team Spirit continues that reign of terror. The mythical beast no longer a myth. In fact, taking down the Calvaries. Man, pronounce that right, Naisu. This is how you do it. Liquid ID dropping to the 1-2 bracket, something that I think Indonesian fans would not have imagined for the MPL ID champions. A bunch of rookies, but today, Hiko and One Shot showed up big time.
Yeah, the rookies today for sure. I think they were the stars of this game. I gotta love the pop-off from Kid Bomba as well. Excited for it.
We're gonna throw it back to the panel to break down this game.